In 1899, Sydney's best doctors had given up hope. How could 70,000-year-old Aboriginal wisdom accomplish what modern medicine couldn't? But Miriam, an Aboriginal healer, achieved the miracle with her strange plants. Sydney was awakening on a gloomy winter morning in 1899. In this era, before the harbour bridge was built, the city's heart beat around the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. The hospital was one of the Empire's most modern medical centres, equipped with the latest sterilization techniques, cutting-edge surgical instruments, and medicines imported from Europe. Dr. Edmund Hartwell was the hospital's chief physician, a Cambridge graduate who had specialized in London and gained experience in Edinburgh. This 45-year-old English doctor was considered a pioneer of modern medicine in the colonies. But that morning he faced the greatest challenge of his career. In one of the private rooms on the 3rd floor, 8-year-old Emily Richardson was fighting death. The daughter of a wealthy merchant, Emily had contracted a mysterious illness 3 weeks ago. Initially, it had seemed like a simple fever, but her condition had rapidly deteriorated. "Dr. Hartwell," said Nurse Margaret with a worried voice, "Emily's fever has reached 104 degrees. Her pulse is very weak, and she's having difficulty breathing." When Dr. Hartwell entered Emily's bedroom, his heart sank. The little girl seemed lost in the middle of the large bed. Her complexion had paled, her lips had turned blue, and her chest rose and fell with a rattling sound as she breathed. Her mother, Miss Victoria Richardson, sat by the bedside trying to hold back her tears. "Doctor," Victoria whispered, "how is my daughter?" Dr. Hartwell examined Emily. He listened with his stethoscope, checked her eyes, and measured her pulse. The findings weren't good: fluid accumulation in the lungs, irregular cardiac rhythm, and worst of all, signs of brain edema. "Mrs. Richardson," the doctor said, trying to maintain his professional composure, "her condition is very serious. We've tried all known treatments: quinine, salicylic acid, even morphine. None have been effective. What else can you do?" Dr. Hartwell remained silent. The truth was, they had reached the limits of modern medicine. Emily's illness didn't fit any known category of that time. Perhaps a tropical disease, perhaps a new infection, or maybe an unknown poisoning. "Doctor," Victoria continued, desperation in her voice, "am I going to lose my daughter?" Before answering this question, Dr. Hartwell took a deep breath. "We're doing everything we can, Mrs. Richardson, but I advise you to be prepared." Victoria Richardson's world collapsed. Her wealth, social status, access to the Empire's best doctors, none of it could save her daughter. That night, Emily's condition worsened further. Her fever rose to 105 degrees, and she began having convulsions. Nurses kept constant vigil by her side, but everyone knew the same reality: Emily might not survive until morning. It was past midnight when an unusual visitor appeared at the hospital entrance. Miriam was an Aboriginal woman in her 60s. Her aged face was covered with deep lines, her graying hair braided in traditional plaits. She carried a small basket containing various plants, roots, and mysterious powdered substances. Miriam had been living around Sydney for 15 years. She was one of the rare Aborigines who had left her tribe and tried to adapt to the white world. But although she attempted to integrate into white society, she had never lost her ancestral knowledge. She was a traditional healer, the guardian of ancient medical knowledge from the Dreamtime. "I need to see sick child," Miriam said to the security guard at the entrance in broken English. "What? You can't just walk into a hospital, woman. Get out of here. Child very sick. I can help. Dreamtime spirits show me." While the security guard tried to escort Miriam out, Nurse Margaret was walking in the corridor. She heard Miriam's voice and approached curiously. "What's happening here? This Aboriginal woman wants to see a sick child. I'm escorting her out." Margaret studied Miriam carefully. There was something different in the old woman's eyes. Wisdom, or perhaps just the depth that comes with age. She couldn't tell. Which child are you talking about? Margaret asked Miriam. Small girl. Golden hair. Very sick. Fever spirits attacking her soul. Margaret's heart quickened. She was describing Emily. But how could she know? Dream told me, Miriam continued. Ancestral spirits show me girl in vision. They send me to heal. Normally Margaret wouldn't believe such things. But Emily's condition was so bad that any hope would be welcome. Wait here, Margaret said. I'll speak with the doctor. Dr. Hartwell stood by Emily's bedside, checking her latest vital signs. Her pulse was very weak, breathing was very labored. Perhaps only a few hours remained. Doctor, Margaret said, there's an Aboriginal woman downstairs. She wants to see Emily. She says she can heal her. Dr. Hartwell looked up. What? I know it sounds crazy, but we have nothing else left. Margaret, this is a modern hospital. There's no place for superstitions. But doctor, if Emily is all ready, Margaret couldn't complete her sentence. Dr. Hartwell looked at Emily. The little girl looked very bad. They had reached the limits of medical science. Maybe, just maybe, who is this woman? An Aboriginal named Miriam. She says she's a traditional healer. Dr. Hartwell thought for a long time. His rational mind refused to accept such a thing. But desperate times, bring her. As Miriam walked through the hospital corridors, she felt different energies at every step. The white people's healing place was very different from the traditional medicine she knew. Here there was the smell of metal and chemicals, not nature's healing power. When she entered Emily's room, all of Miriam's spiritual senses became active. She saw dark energy clouds around the little girl. This was a sign of spirit sickness. Ah, Miriam murmured. Soul sickness. Very bad. Spirits angry. Dr. Hartwell watched her with suspicion. What do you mean, soul sickness? Miriam approached Emily and placed her hands on the girl's forehead. Immediately, something strange happened. Emily's breathing pattern changed slightly, as if she was breathing more easily. Child spirit lost, Miriam explained. Lost in Dreamtime. Body cannot heal until spirit comes home. This is nonsense, Dr. Hartwell said. The child has a fever, possibly malaria or typhoid. No, Miriam said firmly. This not body sickness. This soul sickness. Your medicine no good for this. Miriam opened her basket and took out various plants. Dr. Hartwell saw plants he didn't recognize. Some were plain green leaves, some were unusual roots, and some were dried berries. What are those? Eucalyptus leaf, for fever spirits. Kakadu plum, for strength. Desert pea root, for soul calling. And this, she opened a small package. This, very special, Dreamtime plant, only grows in sacred places. Dr. Hartwell looked at the plants with scientific curiosity. Possibly these plants contained active compounds not yet discovered. How do you propose to use these? Traditional way. Steam bath for body, special tea for soul, and, Miriam paused, ceremony to call spirit home. Ceremony? What kind of ceremony? Dreamtime healing. Must sing ancient songs. Call to ancestral spirits. Guide lost soul back to body. This was too much for Dr. Hartwell. I can't allow primitive rituals in my hospital. Then child will die, Miriam said simply. Your choice. Mrs. Richardson had heard the conversation. Doctor, please, if there's another chance. Dr. Hartwell faced a very difficult decision. His scientific training told him to reject such a thing. But the Hippocratic oath required doing everything for the patient. Fine, he said finally, but I'll monitor every step. If I see any sign of harm, no harm will come, Miriam said. Dreamtime healing only brings good. Miriam began to work. First, she boiled eucalyptus leaves in hot water to prepare a steam bath. She covered Emily's bed like a tent with cloth and trapped the steam inside. This will help fever spirits leave body, she explained. Dr. Hartwell continued listening to Emily with his stethoscope. Interestingly, after the steam inhalation began, the child's breathing did seem somewhat easier. Then Miriam prepared a special tea, She mixed various roots and leaves in specific proportions, steeping them in hot water. Child must drink this. Will call soul back to body. What's in it? Hartwell asked. Kakadu plum, for vitamin. Desert pea for spiritual strength. And secret ingredient. What secret ingredient? Miriam smiled. Love. Most powerful medicine in all worlds. Getting Emily to drink the tea was difficult. The child was nearly unconscious, but Miriam patiently, drop by drop, dripped the tea onto Emily's lips. The most dramatic part was the ceremony. Miriam sat in a traditional position in the room, closed her eyes, and began chanting in an ancient language. Her voice was deep and rhythmic, like the earth's heartbeat. Dr. Hartwell initially felt uncomfortable. These kinds of spiritual practices were very foreign to his scientific worldview. But listening to the chanting, he felt a strange peace. Miriam's ceremony lasted for hours. Periodically, she checked Emily, looked at vital signs, and added additional herbs. Dr. Hartwell also constantly monitored. And then, at 4 a.m., something extraordinary happened. Emily's eyelids began to flutter. Her breathing became easier. Most surprisingly, her fever began to drop. My God, Dr. Hartwell whispered, her temperature is dropping. Miriam smiled but continued the ceremony. Soul coming home, but must complete journey. Near sunrise, Emily opened her eyes, weak but conscious. Mama, she whispered. Mrs. Richardson hugged her daughter with tears of joy. Emily, oh my darling. Dr. Hartwell checked the vital signs. Fever nearly normal, pulse regular, breathing clear. It seemed medically impossible. How is this possible? Miriam answered while gathering her plants into the basket. Modern medicine treats body. Traditional medicine treats whole person, body, mind, spirit. Sometimes soul gets lost. Body cannot heal until soul comes home. But the fever, the convulsions, body was fighting. But soul was not there to guide fight. When soul returns, body knows how to heal itself. Dr. Hartwell was amazed. He had no scientific explanation, but the results were undeniable. In the following days, Emily completely recovered. Her strength returned, appetite came back, laughter filled the hospital room. Medical tests showed no trace of whatever had been making her sick. Dr. Hartwell was deeply affected by this event. He had many conversations with Miriam, trying to learn about traditional Aboriginal medicine. Your people have been healing for how long? 70,000 years, maybe more. We are world's oldest medical tradition. What can you teach us? Many things, but first, you must understand, healing is not just about body. Person is whole being, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, all connected. Western medicine separates. Traditional medicine brings together. Dr. Hartwell began documenting Miriam's methods. He realized that many of her plants had real therapeutic properties. Eucalyptus's antiseptic qualities, kakadu plum's vitamin C content, desert peas calming effects. But what about the ceremony, the spiritual aspect? Belief is powerful medicine, Miriam explained. When person believes healing will come, body prepares for healing. When family supports healing, love gives strength. When community prays for healing, hope gives power. This collaboration became revolutionary in Sydney's medical community. Dr. Hartwell began integrating some traditional methods with modern practice. Within a few years, a small traditional medicine unit was established at the hospital. Miriam became a respected figure in the hospital. Doctors consulted her about difficult cases, especially those involving children. Her gentle approach and deep understanding of human nature made her invaluable. Why do you help us? Dr. Hartwell asked one day. Your people have been treated badly by white settlers. Healing has no color, Miriam said simply. Sick child is sick child. Mother's love is mother's love. Pain is pain. Hope is hope. Traditional medicine teaches us all people are connected. What hurts one hurts all. What heals one heals all. Emily Richardson grew up healthy and strong. Years later, when she became a young woman, she often visited Miriam, learning traditional healing methods. Eventually, she became one of Australia's first white practitioners of integrated medicine. Hartwell's career was transformed by this experience. He published papers about traditional modern medicine integration, traveled to other Aboriginal communities to learn, and became an advocate for Indigenous medical knowledge. Mrs. Richardson became a benefactor for Aboriginal health programs. Her gratitude for Emily's healing led to the establishment of several clinics, where traditional and modern medicine worked together. And Miriam, she continued her healing work for many more years, bridging two worlds, proving that ancient wisdom and modern science could work hand in hand. This story became legend in Sydney's medical community, the night when 70,000-year-old Aboriginal wisdom succeeded where modern medicine had failed, and how collaboration between two different approaches to healing created something more powerful than either could achieve alone. The spirits of Dreamtime working through Miriam had not only saved Emily but also created a healing bridge between two cultures, and this bridge would provide healing power for generations to come.